we go in 5, 4, 3. Hey, everybody, get out of that student union. Breakfast time is over. Time to crawl on into the lecture hall and run our own class. It's Days for Dummies. Hi, everybody. We're going to recap days of our lives this week. The week of July 1st, 2024. It is the summer session, the summer semester. We're here.
I hope you're not having to take that summer semester because you messed up in the fall.
No, we're trying to get ahead.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to graduate early, are you?
Yeah. We got to end this podcast as soon as possible. We're not on the 4-year plan. We're on the 3-year plan.
3-year plan. On the fast track.
Trying to get our degrees, our master's degrees in Salemology.
Why
not? Hey, everybody. It's me, Matt.
Hi, everybody. It's Kat.
And
good morning.
Good morning. I don't know where Professor Angela is.
Lunchtime. Or whatever.
Lunchtime or breakfast time or whatever it is. It's breakfast time
whatever
for us.
you're doing.
We're just getting started now. Hello, hi. We got people watching. We got people liking the video. If you're here, say hello so we know that you're in class. Roll call, everybody.
Roll call.
As for Professor Angela, I don't know. We're just going to call her part-time, I think is what we're just going to call her at this point. It's part-time Angela. Well, it's summer, you know. I mean, maybe the university doesn't pay her well enough.
Yeah.
Maybe
she said, forget that summer session.
Forget that. I'm taking the summer off is what I'm doing. I'm going to go to the beach.
Honestly, you guys, we don't know.
If she's fine, of course. She's always fine. Just
don't worry about her.
Just never worry about her. If there's anybody that's always going to be okay, that's one Professor Angela.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine a circumstance where she's not going to be okay. Honestly.
I can't either, actually.
It's like really, like that's real talk. That's not just trying to be hosts.
That's real talk.
That's not trying to be hosts. That's real.
That girl's had a life.
So hopefully she listens back to that and listens to these wonderful compliments and has a great Sunday is what we want for Professor Angela. Provided she doesn't pop in. She might pop in.
Might.
She absolutely might. Anyway, Jeannie just had French toast and coffee. Well, anytime I bring out the Dunkins, Angela ain't here.
Right? I follow the rules of the lecture hall. All cups must have a cap.
Yeah, we don't want to spill on the electrical outlets.
We don't want to spill and mess up the carpet.
Because then Constantine in his third life is going to have to go back to being a janitor.
Yeah, from the Breakfast Club.
Like the Breakfast Club.
Hello, when I saw that, I was like, heck, that's Constantine.
That's Constantine. Oh my goodness gracious, McGillicuddy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so hi Bridget. Bridget's here. Bridget, hello. Hey, you know what? There was a week of Days of Our Lives this week, Ma. Some stuff happened, some characters interacted, some choices were made, and it ended with a bang.
It did end with a bang.
You know, what's the fallout going to be next week? We're going to have to tune in to find out. Holy smokes. You know what happened. We don't need to cover it. You already watched the show, didn't you?
I did watch the show. Yes, I did.
So Gabi coming out of the gate with the truth. She's not standing for lies.
No, she kind of lied to Stefan because he didn't know she was going to come up there and say.
Well, no, I mean she knew that if she, it was going to be, he would have physically restrained her in some way, likely to stop her from going to the podium if he knew. So, she omitted her intent, we'll say. But Stefan's the one that's straight up lying, though.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, no, I didn't even look the other way at a woman while you were gone. I did not even know that women existed. Everybody's Constantine this morning.
Everybody's Constantine.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, Gabi.
He did lie, didn't he?
I did not know. I did not look at another woman while you were gone. Yeah. I did not even catch the whiff of a scent of perfume that belonged to the female form. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. If only he was actually romantic.
Like that.
If Constantine wasn't up to no good, he could have really swept Maggie off of her feet.
Well, he could have actually kind of swept her off her feet if he had just, not been a scoundrel.
Yeah, exactly. Or, just cooled his
Kind
jets a
of
little
could
bit.
have.
He could have even had his goal just be, I want Victor's money, period. The end. Like nothing else. I'm just going to marry his woman and take his money. And then when I die, I'm going to die rich with Victor's cash. That could have been it.
Hmm.
Nobody would have figured it out. But no, he had to
So I
talk
get,
about Katerina.
and as we know, since now his demise and everything, and that storyline's kind of over,
Yeah.
we're not going to meet no Katerina. She indeed is dead.
Unless John and Steve run into her in Greece. I mean, I guess that something's happening in Greece. And Steve needs
Something's
to
happening in Greece.
go save John or go get John or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So that's the 10,000-foot view of Days of Our Lives. Gabi telling the truth. Steve going to Greece. The Hulk baby is not going to be a Hulk baby. There's not going to be a baby, which is sad, which is unfortunate. But we did find out this week that it's nobody's fault.
That's true.
It
We
would have
did
happened
find out it's
anyway.
nobody's fault. And Chanel loved on her mama.
She sure did. Immediately, she loved on her mama. And I loved the fact that there was...
Mhm.
I got to give it to Jack A because she is a stunning talent and a shining star. She really is. So just I think that it's really easy to take her for granted, a lot like Michael Easton over on General Hospital, where somebody is so consistent, you know what you're going to get out of her every time that she's on screen and she's there and she's enjoyable and charming and, whether the story is good or bad, she's putting herself into it as best she
And
can.
and very often Paulina's funny.
And very often Paulina's funny, yes. But
Yes.
I really appreciate the fact that that they found out the truth of it. Chanel falls into her mother's arms, and there's not even a moment, a look, a hesitation, a flicker of an eyelid, or anything to say,
Mm-mm.
or anything,
Mm-mm.
Nothing there. Just come here. Oh, baby. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love the I just, the power of a mother's love cannot be beaten, right?
That's fact, Jack.
I mean, heaven forbid any of us are ever put in a situation where we blame you for anything that goes on. But hopefully, if that does happen and we find out that we're being idiots, you do instantly forgive us too.
You can blame me for all the good stuff. I'll take it.
Jeannie says that Carson or Johnny will still have to be off screen for a bit for a Carson baby leave. Maybe not. Maybe he'll just come in one day a week. Film a couple of scenes.
Well,
Johnny's still around.
but the way they could easily, he doesn't even have to depends on him what they had going on in writing and rotation at the time. Days of Our Lives is very much the kind of soap where you won't see a character for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Right.
They just off doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be back on. Like for instance, Bobby.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Bobby this week, but we didn't have it hardly any for the last two.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it would be pretty easy to absorb any time that Carson Boatman wants off, especially since, Johnny and Chanel, while they have a story, are not the lead story, not the prominent story. And plus, they're in a position now where they don't really need to give any more detail at the very moment in time. And so it would be very easy for them to just kind of have placeholder scenes.
Yeah. Well, there is, because their arc just finished. Their little story arc just finished.
Yeah, they're not going to Hollywood. The baby didn't make it. They're sad about it. There's absolutely room for them to talk about that and bond and lament and wish for a different thing, make plans for the future, all sorts of stuff. There's room for that. But when it comes to any sort of strong story beat, those have been played. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty easy to just kind of give them a break, even if it's not a full-on, you're not on set for 6 entire weeks. Plus, who knows what sort of support system they have at home, too. I mean, Grandma Boatman might be all up in that baby's grill.
She might be. Or she might be. Or his mama still might, he's not from the West Coast. I believe he's from the South, isn't he?
Tennessee or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Something rural and southern.
I tell you, he can sing his butt off. He really can.
He sure can.
We saw him. He can sing his butt off, and he got some country twang. He could do some country.
Well, he does. Yeah, he can. He very much can. I think he did an album.
Yes, very much.
I can't say for sure, but I think he did. I was
I'll
gonna
tell you.
put a picture or two of that up on Instagram of our time.
And in person, he looks good on screen. That little Carson Bowman is a hot toddy.
Because I got pictures of us at the concert.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I mean that you really can't see in the camera that I just showed you, but that's Wally Kurth and Johnny.
They're going to be in my area in like a less than a month, but I'm not going.
Donate to the show, everybody.
It costs money.
Super chats are open.
But I did get to see them already, so I'm happy about that.
No, it was a really good time. If
I
you
did
have
see
a
them.
chance,
I saw them downtown Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is there a
At the
better
Bourbon
place?
Room.
Yeah, is there a better
Bourbon
place than the
Room.
Bourbon Room on Hollywood Boulevard to see the
Mhm.
day players? No, no, there isn't. That's the best place to do it.
That was
Anyway,
last October.
it was last October. It was a good time, though. It was a good time. It was a good time. I got to
Great
reach out to
time.
the Day of Days people, and then
Mhm.
everybody who watches this show also needs to tweet and Instagram Days of Our Lives and say, we would love to see the 10th floor there in your press room.
Yes, please. We need to find out when an application for that happens.
I don't know exactly. So I got an email address. I'll just tell you. I'll just tell
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I got the email address of the publicist for Days of Our Lives, who is the person that's responsible for that. I don't know if you remember last time, but Angela, spotted them and they had a high five.
I do remember that.
And a butt tickle, I don't know.
I do remember that. Butt tickle.
They just goosed each other in front of everybody. It was weird. It was weird. I'm kidding. That did not happen. It did not happen. But they knew each other and they said hello and gave each other a high
Yes.
five and all that stuff. So she's the organizer. So I'll have to reach out to that person and see if there's any room for the 10th floor under the guise of Days for Dummies. I'll be like, hey, we were there last year and Soap Opera News can't come. So we'll take their spot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you there.
you. Thank you. Jeannie loves country music and she wants to know if we're going to Day to Day. So it's great that we brought it up now before I even read that message. It was serendipity, Jeannie.
We probably will.
I hope so. I don't know for sure. But
I hope so.
I'm always trying to send my feelers out there. I reached out to some people to invite them to the show.
Mhm.
I even reached out to people who aren't even connected to soaps, like just other people who work in TV.
Mm.
And we'll see what we can shake out of the tree there.
Because the 10th floor is not, we are under an umbrella of entertainment.
Yeah, we just like soaps a lot.
We just love soaps.
And
There's room under our umbrella.
There is. There's totally room. It's fun though because it's best when we can find something that Mom and I enjoy together. Because my mother is very tolerant of my television taste and will engage with me in anything that I want to be engaged with. However, her own investment in that might not be very strong.
And yeah, yeah. The challenge is if that crap is on over an hour and I'm not really digging it that much.
So we're gonna have to find something,
Honestly,
but also at the same time, there are some really powerful television properties out there that aren't things like the typical nerd stuff that is complained about like crazy on YouTube, like Star Wars and all of that stuff is just eaten alive on YouTube, and it gets a lot of big views, right? But that's not our cup of tea. But you know what might be our cup of tea? If I sat down and started watching Yellowstone.
did you start watching Yellowstone?
No, but I could.
I like it, but I don't know that you're gonna love it.
I don't know. We'll find something though. We'll have to take a look at the fall schedule that's coming up, and we'll have to pick a show that isn't a soap, but still in the vein of something that we enjoyed watching together.
I tell you what we are gonna do for sure, and we're gonna have a weekly show about it. We're gonna watch The Gates.
Oh, we're absolutely going to be watching The Gates.
About The Gates.
Yeah, 2025. Get ready for that, everybody.
And you know
Get
what?
ready for that.
When it comes to the big scheme of things, that'll be here.
Yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. I mean, it's already July
Absolutely.
4th is already passed, everybody. David with a massive donation to the show in the super chat. Thank you so much, David. You're so generous every time. I don't know what to say.
David?
I don't know.
Matthew's middle name is David.
I don't know. I mean, do we deserve this? I mean, I guess we do because you decided that we do. But goodness, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, is it all because of donations like that I got this cool microphone? that I'm still
Yeah.
working on positioning for to make sure that is super awesome and makes me happy and makes you all happy. Anyway, Days of Our Lives. Hi, Ira. Iara? I-A-R-A, Iara. Hello for the first time.
Hi there. Welcome.
Hello, I hope there's room for one more. I was introduced to you on JLJ Media because we were on his show last week, and I figured I'd like
sure
to go
were.
for it. Modern Days. Well, you came at the right time, Iara. Let's get into it some more, all right? Detour over, back on Salem Main Road, back into the lecture hall, back into Salem University. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about Eric.
Okay. Poor old Eric.
Poor old Eric, who's about to...
Poor old Eric.
I don't know. So poor old Eric, he's suffering right now. He's definitely going through some stuff. But on the other side of this stuff are his dreams. Come
Yes.
true.
Wee wee. Bye-bye, Eric.
Oui, I'm going to take you and Nicole to Paris. Me and Jude and Nicole, we are going to Paris, and I'm going to take photos. Apparently, a lead photographer. This man has gone from priest to bartender to photographer to lead fashion photographer of a Paris magazine.
Where has he been hiding this portfolio all this time?
In the closet? I don't know, up on the second shelf, next to the empty gun safe, is the portfolio of incredible photos. Now, I happen to know somebody who fathered me, actually, contributed heavily to the fact that I'm on this earth today. Who just shows, that there's sometimes there's just a natural talent that somebody has for taking a little picture. Just kind of, framing and looking, whether it be influence from growing up around video cameras because your dad was a total video dork, or because of a natural gift or a combination between the two. Sometimes it just works. Sometimes you just have the eye for it. And maybe that's the case for Eric.
Maybe, huh? Maybe. Maybe. Boy. Yeah. Maybe we have been so absorbed in his suffering that we don't even know
Not a thing.
wonderful things that he's accomplished.
I don't think this is out of left field. I think that he was a photographer at some other point. Jeannie let us know. Our official TA Jeannie, the one that shows up every week. Jacarius and Angela, they follow their own schedule. They follow the course of the wind rather than the course of the syllabus. But I don't think that this talent is necessarily out of left field. I think they explored it with Eric a little bit more, and it's kind of like rekindling a passion that he previously had on the show. But I mean, I don't know, because we know that
And with Days of Our Lives, you have to be very forgiving.
Oh yeah, you pick it up and you go. You pick it up and you go with it. That's what I think that's the best advice that I can give to you if you're planning on getting back into Days of Our Lives. Is anything that you hoped it was before or remember that it was before, just leave it there. Leave it behind. Leave it in history and just pick it up for what it is now and keep going.
That's what we do. That's what we did.
Oh my gosh. I have not seen Eric in 7 years. Used to go to all the events in all year. Oh, I guess in real life. Jeannie hasn't been able to attend an event in a while. Well,
we went to Day of Days last year and he indeed was not there.
He was not there. No, he wasn't. Not. But I want to go back because I want to talk to, you know who would recognize us? Remington Hoffman.
Of course he would.
He would recognize us in an instant.
Because he was actually on the 10th Floor podcast.
Gosh, I got to reach out to him.
Days for Dummies.
Clearly Lee's on his way back too, so I got to reach out to him.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. Gabi is the answer to Eric's dreams. It's true. Gabi's opening the door. Gabi's paving the way. Gabi is leading them up to the tarmac to get onto that plane with a baby and leave Salem and go to their future together. I don't know if that's exactly how it's going to go down because I don't... Here's the thing, folks. It was pretty contentious with Ari Zucker and Days of Our Lives upon her exit. And I'm not even just, by this time that producer is gone and the strike is over and all that kind of stuff, and we're in a regular rotation of things, but she's still on the way out. And I don't know if it's going to be I don't know. I imagine a elevator closing situation, not some sort of big sweeping exit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there's going to be. I don't know. I don't know because they're also trying to get rid of Eric, who might get some sort of sweeping lead. I don't know, Mother. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what's happening. I don't know
I
what's
don't know what's
true.
happening either. But I, yeah, I think that Eric and Nicole both have a few more days on Days of Our Lives, and they will
Yeah,
both be gone.
because people were saying, oh, but he was on set for. I don't see that being. I don't know how you get rid of Nicole and then 6 weeks later you get rid of Eric. If Greg Vaughn didn't sign his contract and they decided Ari Zucker's time is over, why not link those two things together like over on General Hospital? Clearly, they had made a decision about Michael Easton and they found it as an opportunity to also end the Gregory storyline. That was totally attached to Michael Easton's exit. It wasn't the other way around.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe the same thing is
Yeah.
here. They saw two departures and they put them together.
Now, yeah. So I wonder this because we know that Nicole and Eric are indeed going to be gone.
Yes.
By August 1st, they will be gone.
So we have been told.
And by what we've seen on our screens, I would say that's probably
It's
true.
looking like that's the direction for sure.
Looking like it. Now, the question is, where are those kiddos going to be gone to? Now, Tate, they're supposed to be, I tell you what, I understand that this is not what that boy wants. He don't want to go to, what is it?
Military or lacrosse camp.
Lacrosse camp.
Lacrosse camp.
Yeah. The privileged lacrosse camp that
for the rich white boys. He's not blonde enough though.
Exactly.
This was perfect for the other Tate. The other Tate looked like a lacrosse player. This Tate doesn't necessarily pull off lacrosse. This one pulls off baseball.
I thought, yeah, you're right. Right. So yeah, so they're sending him off. And it looks like maybe he's going to go. It kind of looks like he may, because with Nicole leaving, isn't she gonna take her daughter? Who's she gonna leave her daughter in the care of if she don't take her? If Eric's gone,
I know, right?
The only person that that she could go with and maybe finish high school and live with would be Eric, and he's gonna be gone too. I think that the kiddos are leaving as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's an opportunity. There was an opportunity, but then the opportunity is also kind of popping, because what they could have done, because the plan seems to have been for Tate to send his friend Eric or Aaron to lacrosse camp. He's like, put on this fake mustache and then just say you're me.
This was I cracked up at that. I did, but I kind of understand it. Okay, this kid he's excited because he don't have an opportunity to do something like that.
No, this is rich person lacrosse camp.
This is rich person. I don't know. I'd have to be so good that someone's paying for me to go.
Exactly.
I'd have to have so much lacrosse talent already.
Yes, and he's like, oh my God, the opportunity. All I have to do is just pretend to be Tate Black. That's easy. I just go sit in the corner and I be moody. It's all good.
But they were saying, oh yeah, this is going to be great for your for your applications for college, D1 schools and blah 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 like that. Well, he can't put down Tate Black. That's not him.
I fake went to lacrosse camp for my friend Tate, and it really helped my game. So
exactly.
Oh my gosh, Ira hasn't watched since Jensen Ackles played Eric, which was more than 15 years ago. More
time than we ever watched.
More than 15.
We are actually coming up on a 1 year of viewing of.
I know. We're oof. Laura has the answer. Holly's going to stay with Maggie because Daniel was her father. I don't know the connection between Daniel and Maggie, but maybe Maggie's her great aunt or great grandma or something.
Or is Maggie her grandmother?
I don't know. Daniel, who is dead. Is it Daniel Douglas, or is that a different person? Or is that person from Scandal? There's a Douglas. There's a someone Douglas on the show, like a Daniel Douglas, a Bobby Douglas, a Terrence Douglas.
I don't know that name.
A something something. Daniel Jonas is Holly's father.
Okay. All right, but I don't
Whoa,
see.
that makes
Angela's not
sense.
here to be able to
That
tell
makes sense
us.
because her name is Holly Jonas. I knew that.
Yes, her name is Holly
I
Jonas,
knew
like
that.
the Jonas Brothers.
Holly's going to stay with Maggie, says Laura. Okay, all right.
Well, that makes
Daniel is
sense.
Maggie's
Okay.
long lost son. There we go.
Oh,
Classic,
so
classic
Maggie
soap.
is indeed Holly's grandmother.
Yeah, so classic soap story. I had a baby and lost them. I lost track
Yes.
of this baby either because I gave them up for adoption because they were taken from me because I thought they were dead or otherwise. But in fact, they're alive and they're in town. Oh my God. What are the odds?
What are the
What are the
odds?
odds? There's so many cities to live in. There's so many people on this planet, and you happen to wind up in Salem of all places? Wow. Sean Douglas, thank you very much, Laura. See, Laura's great. I love the audience here. Without the chat, this show would be us
Boo.
going, we don't know anything about this show, but listen to us anyway.
Well, it is called Days for Dummies.
It is called Days for Dummies because we're the dummies, not you.
We are the dummies,
Not
not y'all.
He was played by Sean Christian, who was engaged to Ari Zook. Well, I don't think that guy's coming back either. Oh, Ira's still reeling from the fact that Maggie wound up marrying Victor of all people. And you know what, Ira? From our understanding, it was a lovely romance.
Oh,
They really
was
liked each other.
oh,
Not in the Adam Chandler way, but in like the I actually like you way.
yeah, I actually like you.
Like, you know, like,
Like super couple way?
well, I don't know about any of that.
Mm,
But
me
they,
either.
you know, it was enough for Maggie to still feel this way after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. So Tate tried, and then but then like Brady's lurking around the school or something. I don't quite understand exactly like who walks into the hallways to pick your kid up. How are you not in Carline?
Especially in high school.
And this dude's a junior too. Like conceivably Tate can drive. Is he not trusted that much that he can't even get behind the wheel to drive himself home?
Maybe not.
Brady needs to put an
Maybe
ankle
not.
monitor on this kid. Just track him at all times.
Just track that kid's phone. You don't need no ankle on, or just
You know
track.
what? Brady would be able to put some spyware or something on his phone. He would have he has the contacts and capabilities. He'd be able to track Tate wherever he is, listen to every single conversation, intercept every message, Snapchat, text message, and otherwise. Brady would be able to do this. Why hasn't he done that?
Maybe
that
he's
going
just
too far?
He's trying to have a little faith in Tate.
It's going too far, is what it is. I can't. It's
I can't do it.
far. Teresa, I don't trust you, but let's make out. How's that, Ira? Teresa and Brady, huh? How old was Brady the last time you saw him, Ira, huh? Because apparently he went from 6 to 30.
Yeah, he sure did. Brady and Teresa have a fatal attraction, actually, for
They
each other.
sure
They
do.
like each other so much.
Their brain chemistry is connected to one another because when they look at each other, not only do they see love and children, but they also see drugs and how good that felt.
And they also see recovery.
And how good that felt too.
They did that together.
Yeah, they did that. And then when Teresa relapsed, Brady was there for her in ways that Alex couldn't be. Ira, you don't know who Alex is, but that's okay.
I tell you what, that Alex, he's when he gets knocked off his pedestal, oh boy, that's going to be a fall.
So what do you think is going to happen? What would you presume would be the next step for the Alex character when he loses his girlfriend and loses his money and realizes that he's just a nobody? Does he humble in a way, or does he get worse?
I think he's going to
Somehow.
get worse.
Yeah? You don't think he's going to like go crawling back to Justin and have some sort of awesome Wally Kurth scene?
He might try, but you know what Justin ought to do? Tell him to kick rocks is what he ought to do. That kid has been so terribly, terribly disrespectful. And just this past week, just cut his, well, let's say he's his dad, because to me he is. He just cut his dad to
Yeah.
pieces, just broke his heart,
Well,
calling
he
him
is his
cousin.
dad. He is his dad.
He is his
This whole
dad.
Victor thing is a lie. Justin is Alex's dad, from my understanding.
Yeah, Justin is Alex's dad, but right now they don't know that, but he's gonna.
No, they think otherwise.
They think otherwise. But that Alex has purposely broken his father's heart over and over with some jagged words.
Absolutely.
Jagged words.
Absolutely. Alex is just a monster of a person.
He really is. He deserves what Teresa's going to try
And
to do.
why? You know, the question, why would he behave like this? Why is he behaving like this? How could somebody treat another human this way? And it's because he's a terrible human himself. It's because money and Alex creates evil.
And it sounds to me like, he's not Victor's kid, but that doesn't mean he's not a whole lot like Victor.
And then if he does find out, and then he finds out before he marries Teresa, then they could both then work together to be like, well, let's continue to just keep this secret together. We don't sign a prenup. We both have access to all this money. All we gotta do is just keep the ruse going.
Exactly. But, because it makes me think of these two characters, even though they're not in the same storyline. But these two females are cut from the same cloth. Teresa and Gabi are equally crappy people.
I mean, they're soap ladies, right? And soap ladies and soap men are just both awful, right? Just there's not a redeeming character. Even the great and glorious Marlena Evans has done evil at some point in her life, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure she has. But then, between all that, she cures everybody from all their ails.
She's working hard on Bobby and Everett right now. Working hard on what was it? Bobrit. Bobrit, according to Leo. So Alex thinks he's Victor's son, but it's actually Xander, asks Ira. And that is correct. It's actually Xander.
Mm-hmm. And Xander right now is just all kinds of shiny penny good.
Maggie is like, hey, Xander, here's $1.5 million. However much was on that check, This is for killing Constantine, essentially.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being the man that pulled the trigger. No trouble at all. You weren't even questioned by the police about it.
Not much.
They're busy. Take it. He's like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it at all. I've got everything I need right here with Sarah.
Sarah.
And Victoria. God, he's so great. If I'm able to do a voice, that means I really like the character. I don't care what other people might have to say about this one. He's a lot of fun to mock. Jeannie says that Alex is going to have to kiss up to Justin when they get there. I don't know, because like I said, Teresa and he might try to stretch this lie a little bit longer. And now we've seen what Victor's money has done to Alex. And now with Xander being like, I don't want your money. And then he has money thrust upon him.
Yes.
Does it make for a bad Xander? And then at that point, the question becomes, is Victor's money cursed?
Sure it is.
All money's cursed.
You can act a fool every time.
All money is cursed once you have enough of it. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I have this much. I can never go back. How do I make sure that I keep these many zeros in my bank account? Because I cannot go back. Teresa switched the paperwork. Yes, Laura. But Alex is starting to think about it. Alex trying to be like, well, maybe Brady's not a big old jerk.
Mm-hmm.
As he's like, well, Teresa was left alone with him. And you can't trust her. And she has lied to me before. And it was boning Kristen just last week. There's a whole world going on inside Alex's head right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kristen was like, I'm done with you. I didn't understand that.
Was just like,
how could somebody be done with me?
It was hilarious. She was like, okay, I'm bored now. Bye.
You didn't think this was going to be like a forever thing, did you? It's like meeting in a club. And then you have a good time. And then you see them in the club again. And you're like, oh, I remember having a good time with you. And then you have a good time again. And then you see them a third time in the club. And you're like, well, if I keep doing this, then we're going to be boyfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
That it's not a true story of mine, but it's a true story for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Kristen. Hi, Sandra. Happy July. Hope everybody had a great 4th. Teresa says yes. Why did Teresa do that? Because she wants the money.
Teresa is a self-serving woman and does everything for her own benefit, and it doesn't matter who it affects or who she screws over.
So the original Teresa showed up to town, right? And she was like, ooh, Alex, that's a hot-looking man, right? As most people do. That's what people think about Alex. That's what most female characters on the show actually think about Alex. Alex has been through the cast.
Yeah, he has. he's a kind of a hoe.
Yeah, I think like Jada and Marlena and Kayla and like Belle might be like the only characters. Paulina maybe, but he might have even kissed Paulina on the cheek sweetly one time. For all I know, you know.
And I wouldn't say we don't know for sure. You know, Belle's in his age group. So
do you remember that, Alex? Do you remember the Alex who would chew on his glasses?
Yes.
They left those far behind. Far behind.
Far behind.
Anyway, so he's been so original Teresa comes and she hangs out with Alex. She's like, man, he bones real cool. He's real hot, all that kind of stuff. And then she hangs out with her dad, Shane Donovan, Victor Cassadine. And it's like, yeah, I have some important information left behind by Victor. I am in a rush, so I trust you, my villainous daughter, to keep this safe and give it to the right people. And she's like, okay. And so she takes it and she looks at the contents inside and realizes it's a letter saying that Xander is the heir of the Victor Kyriakis fortune because he's secretly Victor's kid.
And Victor feels some kind of remorse.
Right. And
the way he treated him.
And I think it said Alexandros Kyriakis because I think that's Xander's name. And she goes, oh, well, I have already bagged myself a Kyriakis with a very similar name to this. So let me get some white out.
Right.
Alexandros becomes Alex Kyriakis. Now the heir of Victor. So she gets the money, or she gets the man who has the money and is trying to manipulate the situation and has been for months and months and months to get to the point where they're married without a prenup. So in a year or two, they can get separated and divorced and she can keep the fortune. That's been her whole plan this whole time.
But what's gonna mess up her whole plan is Xander's mother showing up for the wedding.
So Xander's mom is going to show up to this wedding. This is a classic Days of Our Lives double wedding. Xander and Sarah.
Can they have a singular wedding there?
No.
I don't think they can.
Xander and Sarah and the other couple. Alex and Teresa. We were just talking about them.
Yeah, Alex and Teresa.
You know, those people that we were just spending the last 5 minutes discussing. That couple. So they're going to have their big double wedding. Xander's mom is supposed to show up. But, you know, Teresa trying to run a little bit of interference last week threw away the invitation.
And she doesn't know that Bonnie fished it out of the garbage either.
Justin's wife is like, oh, well, that's strange. Let me mail this. Let me not ask anybody why this wound up in the trash. If somebody changed their mind. If maybe they don't actually want this person here. No, I'm just going to mail it anyway. So she does that.
Yep.
So that means that she's going to show up as a surprise.
She's going to show up as a surprise.
She's going to be standing in there like, I don't know, some sort of classic actress, you know, like some sort of person.
I think she become, you know, what was that? Who was that actress? Who was that person that when we first started watching the show, the mom that blew into town that everybody hated?
Oh, what was it? Charlemagne something?
Yeah, something like that.
Shoot.
Whose mom was that?
Vivian?
Yes, and it was Philip's pretend mom.
John's pretend mom too for a second, or sister or something. Like Alamein, there we go, because he thought he was an Alamein family until Timothy Robichaux came through. Ira, you missed the whole Dick Van Dyke is actually John Black's dad thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she's gonna be kind of flamboyant and kind of out there. She'll be there, and we'll see. You know, they keep on talking about the fact that she's a drunk. They've mentioned it several times. So it'll be interesting to see. Is she going to show up recovered sober?
She's going to show up
Recovered
recovered sober.
alcoholic, or is she going to come in drunk as all get out?
Ron Cavalier, Ron Calvary. I need you to hire me to give you ideas, not necessarily to write anything, but for me to just tell you what to do as the secret ghost writing head writer for Days of Our Lives. Because this is what you do, Ron. She comes in stone cold sober. All right. Yada yada, da 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 da, ha 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 ha, hey ho, ha 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 ha, right? She does all that, you know? And then she starts to drink.
Then she has her first glass of champagne, and it all goes south from there.
Not necessarily all south from there, but she drinks, and she gets hazier, and she gets drunker, and she gets more slurry, and her vision blurs some, and she finds a picture, and she goes, you know what, now I'm really thinking about it. I recognize this guy. I think I saw him in Cincinnati once. You know?
Yeah.
Boom. Because she's drunk through her beer goggles, now she recognizes the picture of Victor, while before she didn't remember because she was too drunk to remember, but being drunk made her remember. Ron, this is Days of Our Lives glory. I recognized him because I'm drunk again. Come on, Ron.
Or she'll like, or it would be funny, like right in the middle of things, she turns to the photo above the fireplace and starts cussing him out.
Listen,
you bastard.
You impregnated me. You just walked away. You left me $25 on the $25 of your fortune on the nightstand. Yeah.
That's good stuff, Matt.
Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness gracious. It'll never happen that way, but goodness, wouldn't it be fun if it did? Oh gosh, it would be so fun.
It would be crazy if it really did, because then you go, Ron, you really have been listening. Oh
my gosh. I expect a royalty or two. You know, just a couple of bucks to send it to my house. I'll give you the address. So Steve was arrested. But he's fine. He's off the hook.
He is.
You let a felon out of jail. You stuck him out. That's all right. We're suspended sentence, community service. You're okay.
He got a little nervous. 100 hours of community service.
Okay, Days of Our Lives.
You know what? I don't have to do it immediately, so off to Greece I go.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the country and just say to the, having to serve this. Okay, hey, Days.
Where's my passport?
Kayla, I need a beer and a passport. She throws the passport at him. Get your own damn beer. That's the Days of Our Lives. That's the soap that Abe and Kate need to be writing. So, but he also is able to masterfully lie to the cops. Oh, it was just me. Don't worry about that male and female figure that was also spotted by this witness. That was Officer Goldman and that southern asshole. Glad Weston, right? That was who they were. It wasn't 5 of us. It was only 3 of us. Okay, Steve.
Okay, Steve Patchy, it's all right.
All right, we're just going to let you go because you got the eye patch. I think life has already made you suffer enough. And so they send him on his merry ways.
Play with that. You'll lose an eye.
It's just a BB gun accident. Oh gosh, does he have a mirror? Does he have a lamp with a leg? A leg lamp somewhere in his house with Kayla?
And Kayla's always mad at him, right? Kayla's always mad at him for something he's doing. Kayla's always irritated.
Steve is always he goes, grown up.
And then he goes, "Oh, sweetness, and everything's good."
Come on, baby. Sweetness. Remember when I showed you that void? That is my eye hole. Oh, I can never fall for anybody but you, Steve. I even followed you to General Hospital, and then you shoved me off of the parapet. Oh my gosh.
You go on Instagram, you can see me falling off the parapet.
Oh, here's some interesting new information from the chat that I didn't know about. Wasn't Justin married to Adrian or something like that? Asks Iara. Jeannie says yes, for years, but Adrian died. But she was also played by Judy Evans. And Laura continues on. Yes, Adrian died, and now he's married to her look-alike, Bonnie. I didn't know that Bonnie was Adrian's look-alike. Is that a real thing? Did she come to town and they're like, oh my God, it's Adrian?
I'm not surprised.
You know, and then and she's like, no, I'm not Adrian. I'm Bonnie. You know, is that what happened? Let me know. Let me know, because if so, that's cool. I like that stuff. That's some All My Children Dixie stuff.
Yep.
It is. It is. It is. It is. Abe and Kate get to write a soap, and that's going to be super fun. So this is a chance for them to bring Theo, or that little kid that was playing the one of the first storylines that I watched, and I think you were tuning into, was the end of the Abe has been drugged by Crazy Nurse Whitley storyline.
Yeah.
Where he didn't have his memory and he was drugged, and that's where he fell in love with the soap that he wants to do.
Yeah, and like the very, very week that we started watching was when they discovered.
Yeah, they saved him.
Saved him.
Crazy Nurse Whitley.
Yes.
So, but in that story, in order to convince Abe that Whitley was his wife, Whitley was his wife and all that sort of stuff, they brought in somebody to play the role of Theo, who's Abe's kid, I think. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't real Theo. It was it was an actor to come in to play Theo, to confuse poor Abe. Mm-hmm. But the actor that they brought in to play the actor who was playing Theo was the actor who played Theo when Theo was a toddler and a little kid.
Boy, that's Days of Our Lives right there, isn't it?
So they brought in Theo to play Theo, but not Theo being Theo, but somebody playing Theo.
Yes.
I thought it was clever as heck. Clever
It
as
is.
Heck. So they could bring that kid back.
Clever.
So what I'm all this leading to is that they could bring that kid back to be an actor on the Heart and Soul show. What's that called? Body and Soul show.
Body and Soul. I like Heart and Soul better.
Well, Heart and Soul is a very common phrase. And there's a movie.
And it's also a Huey Lewis song.
And there's also a movie called Heart and Souls with Robert Downey Jr. that I remember very well.
Oh, yeah.
Where he has a bunch of ghost friends.
Yes.
Because they missed the bus.
Very, very, very young.
Yeah. He was, very young Robert Downey Jr. And an even younger actor playing a younger him had some ghost friends that were supposed to be like his guardian angels for a little while. But they missed the bus to the afterlife. And the fact that they were a part of his life was causing some real life issues, because they're like, stop talking to 7 invisible people, you crazy child. So they vanish, but they miss the bus. So they're still around. They're just not interacting with the guy anymore. And so they spend 30 years or whatever, just kind of ignoring stuff until the bus shows up again. It's like, oh, you didn't finish your unfinished business. They're like, nobody told us to do that. So they show themselves to adult Robert Downey Jr., and one by one, they do their unfinished business. It's heartwarming. I think Elizabeth Shue is in it. They fall in love. Everybody finishes their unfinished business. Alfred Woodard is in it. The dad from Beethoven is in it. He sings the national anthem, for crying out loud. Heart and Souls.
Heart and Soul.
I think that's the name of the movie. Anyway, I remember watching that a lot.
Too.
I remember watching that a lot during the illegal black box Scrambler days.
Yes. Me too.
I'm assuming something happened to Lexi for Abe to remarry. Yeah. Pretty much everybody that was married before, like if their husband or wife is still around and the other person isn't, it's because their significant other died. Is essentially, I don't think anybody's moved away. Like Sean Douglas and Bell, they moved to a different section of town to work out their problems.
They did.
That was even mentioned this week.
Be on her way back.
She might be. I remember seeing something about somebody, about an actress, or something. I don't know exactly. I'm not as plugged in with the behind the scenes chit chatter as some of the other people out there. We're just not that kind of podcast. Part of it is we don't have the same connections as a lot of the other ones do, because we haven't been in the game as long as everybody else. And secondly is I like to enjoy the roller coaster that is a soap still. And if I learn too much about it beforehand, then it's not as exciting.
That's why we're not crazy about spoilers.
No, No, I don't want to know. I don't really like some things are unavoidable. Like we know that Eric is leaving, but by the time we were sure that Eric was leaving, it was already starting to be shown on the show. So it lined up. We just
Yes.
happened to know that it's not going to take a left turn and he's going to stick around, like I remember watching Silk Memories, everybody. I remember watching all my children younger with Babe and JR and all them, and they had their kid, and then Satin Slayer was around and poisoning people, killing people. This was the Zarf storyline. Who the actor who played Zarf passed away, by the way. That's very sad.
Yeah, about 6
Young.
months.
Yeah, young guy. Anyway, so it was the Zarf storyline, and anyway, but Babe winds up dying in the story, and I remember being like, "Oh my effing gosh, I can't believe this!" This is my high little I'm a kid voice. I don't believe it. I probably was as deep as I am today now. But anyway, so Babe winds up dying from the Satin Slayer, but she's not really dead. No, it took us like 2 weeks to find out that she wasn't really dead, but it blew my freaking little mind that,
And they killed Babe.
I can't believe they killed Babe. Babe is dead. They had a funeral, we had a body, she died in the hospital. Oh my God. But it turns out like Erica's kid just gave her some you're not really dead drugs. You know how they do in soaps.
Yep, I sure do know.
Anyway, so that had me convinced, but from that moment on, I haven't been as convinced by a soap death.
No one's ever really did.
No. Nowadays it takes some confirmation. Generally speaking, we find out beforehand usually if somebody's leaving just because of conversations that we have with other podcasters and the fact that we do this one every week. Sometimes you guys find out some stuff as well. So sometimes. But anyway, that's it on that. Tate to send Aaron. Steve's going to Greece. Eric's trapped in prison. Kristen's not okay with Melinda. We didn't talk at all about Connie really killing Lee. There was a flashback. Connie killed Lee. All right. Last subject.
So what is her motive? Just cuckoo-ness?
Maybe she felt rejected by Lee. So here's the thing. Here's the thing as I understand it. So correct me if I'm wrong, chat. This actress who plays Connie is actually just a big Days of Our Lives fan. Whether she was rewarded for being a Days fan for a long time or won a contest for a walk-on role or something, I don't know exactly what the story is. But she participated in an episode and she played a very quick date for Lee while he was romancing Melinda. And I guess
he's using her.
Trying to get Melinda a little jealous because they were falling for each other, but also antagonizing one another and trying to get the most out of a situation, and so on and yada yada. Which is going to reignite. We got Melinda kind of reigniting her presence on the show. We have a strong feeling that Lee is on his way back, given the plot right now.
Yep.
That making my hair looks nice like that. Anyway, so this Connie comes in. It has this date. It doesn't go well, but she's a big fan. She really liked him. And I guess a couple of weeks later, stabbed the hell out of him.
Yeah, in the back.
In the back. We saw the flashback of the stabbing. I don't recall any conversation that was shared with us, so I don't know anything that led up to it. She did just break into Lee's apartment, which is Trip and Wendy and Ava's apartment. Which I guess Ava's the only person that's staying there now.
Because Wendy and her brother shared that place first.
Yes, Wendy and Lee lived there, and then Trip came in, and Ava came in, and I think Ava's the only person that technically lives there right now because Trip and Wendy are in China.
No, she went to go live at the pub. She didn't even stay in that apartment.
So nobody lives in that apartment now. We have an empty set, everybody. Can you believe it? There's an empty set on Days of Our Lives. So she sneaks in there. She has flashbacks of killing Lee, which is different than the killer who was just the killer just a month ago. Which was whatever his name was. I can't even remember.
It was Gil.
That's the name.
Clyde's employee.
Yeah, so Gil. So they changed that up. Now it's Connie. Why? I don't know. I'm not there. Maybe they. I can imagine them like Gil, and then it happened, and they wrote it, and they did it, and they're like, let's do something different. What if it was really Connie?
Gil is dead, and evidently they want a killer that's alive.
I mean, that would be the main answer for me is they wanted to work with an alive killer. And so they switched it up real quick, and now it's actually Connie. I don't know how the evidence that pointed to Gil is wrong, but whatever. Something about fingerprints and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's a soap opera. You never know. Sometimes, there's beats in the story that the writers and producers and stuff want us to just like have a brain fade and not recall.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just go. Just take our hands and go with it. I don't like that, but whatever.
So yeah, they may not even explain why there is a thumbprint of Gil on the black book.
They might not. They should though.
But they should.
They should.
Because I mentioned it too many times.
No, maybe he just picked it up and leafed through it and was like, oh, how interesting. I'm going to come back. And then Connie comes in and stabs him. There's still more to come. Clearly, there's still more to come. So we'll see what's going on with that.
I think that she's a cuckoo person that had like an obsession of Lee.
Yes.
And then she got her feelings hurt, and her cuckoo-ness told her, perhaps you should stab him for that.
Hang on. I think lightning has just struck my brain here, Mother. Because I got to look up when this Netflix show came out. Once my phone decides to cooperate, tech never works when you want it to.
I know, it's so frustrating.
Like, what the hell? I could be on this thing all day long. What the fudge? Stop taking me to Google.
See?
I could be on my phone all day long doing all kinds of nonsense, but as soon as I look up baby reindeer to see when that frickin' show came out, April, May, June, July, not quite enough time. Because I was thinking, because this can come off as like some sort of baby reindeer riff. Are you familiar with Baby Reindeer?
No.
Baby Reindeer is a show on Netflix about a crazy online stalker.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a dramedy. Like it's kind of unnerving, but also the things that she does are really goofy.
Like dark comedy?
Yeah, kind of like a dark comedy thing,
Okay.
I'm trying to see when this came out in April, so that's not long enough for Ron to have been inspired. I was thinking, well, maybe there's a little baby reindeer or something mixed into this. Maybe they decided, we're gonna go the creepy, weird online stalker up to no good route, which could still be the case without the baby reindeer influence. But I mentioned that because the baby reindeer stalker lady is kind of a heavyset goof of a human. And it's kind of the same feeling that I get from Connie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm not trying to be like disparaging, but just
but a little outcasty.
Yeah, a little. There we go, a little outcasty. Maybe a twinge of some sort of spectrum somewhere, but not guided in a good way. Type of deal. I don't know.
Perhaps just a little Heather Weber in her.
Or just mentally nuts. What was it? What did M.I.? What is it that you used to say back in the day? Was it initials? Whatever. It doesn't matter. We talk about Baby Reindeer. Yeah, I was talking about IR also says that it's good to know that Brady Pub is still a part of the show. It is a part of the show. We took a picture in front of their fake door at the last day of days. Romans.
I love the Brady Pub. The Brady Pub is there's two sets that I really, really find endearing. And that is, of course, the square.
Yes.
And Brady's Pub.
Yeah. We got a couple of cool square scenes today, or this week too. I like it when they have the outdoor dining and they're sipping their coffees.
Me too. Well, that's where Melinda was.
Like Annie in Misery. Yeah, Ira. Exactly. Another great comparison. Just hopefully we're not breaking Lee's ankles. Howdy doody, Lee. Whoosh. You can't run away, Lee. I said, don't run away from the like I can't even do it. Kathy Bates was
crazy.
Kathy Bates is so uniquely amazing in that movie. I can't even
Kathy Bates
do it.
Is a treasure. Oh, man. So good.
Come to Days of Our Lives, Kathy Bates. You and Jack A. I'm here for it. I really am. Okay. I think that's it. We're an hour in. Gabi, Stefan, Tate, Steve, No Hulk Baby, Abe, and Kate. Behind the scenes politics. Steve's off the hook. He lied. Yeah, Steve's going to Greece. Eric takes that. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
We did it.
I can't wait for Monday. I can't wait for Monday because Gabi was like blew that up at the very last scene of the show, right?
We're gonna see the fallout here of Gabi's great confession at the end of the week, where she basically gives Stefan the finger and says, "Oh, by the way, here's what's going on in EJ's personal life."
And EJ's gonna flip out.
His eyes are gonna get all big.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
He's gonna flip out.
How dare you? How dare you? You've messed with the wrong Demira.
Mm-hmm.
Get him, Melinda. What? No.
Maybe he'll start messing with Melinda. Well, they hatch plans.
Oh boy, I don't know what's gonna happen. I went to the Days Jeannie says, when I went to the Days set tour, walked through Brady's pub and Demira Mansion and walked up the stairs to nowhere.
That's fun. That's great.
Yeah, the Quartermain stairs lead nowhere too.
Yeah, and the stairs at the 10th floor nurses station, they don't go anywhere either.
Nope, no sets on the top of nothing. Last week was great, and this week may be even better, says Sandra. Well, I hope for it, because Days of Our Lives has a lot of potential to be super fun and awesome. So I want it to be. I want it to be. I gotta fix this hair dangle.
You look like Superman like that.
Well, folks, if you're listening on the audio and you don't know what my Superman curl looks like, join us on YouTube sometime. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's been years of wearing the headphones or years of combing my hair in such a way or just years of becoming a different human being altogether. But this little lock of hair here has gotten pretty cowlicky over time, which isn't uncommon for me. I've got all kinds of uncontrollable hair, but it's never really been in the front before.
No.
So, put a little headband on. Let's see. Anyway, Bob Ritt is scary. He is, and we're going to find out what he knows about the Lee murder next week. I want Bobby to survive over Everett. No, we didn't. We got trapped in other stuff, but whatever. There's going to be more Days of Our Lives classes to talk about Bob Ritt, and it's not over yet. We're really just getting started with this whole I know about Lee's murder thing.
Right.
And all in all,
and evidently Bobby's been around for a long, long time trying to protect Everett from his childhood. But they've kind of rewritten this week a little bit.
Yeah.
They kind of rewrote Bobby.
I liked the take this week more than any take that they have had so far. Mm-hmm. I liked his older brother mentality, so to speak, over the personality of Everett. I think that Blake Barris, who's the actor who plays him, I don't know if you know Blake Barris is somebody else. He's at Bob right now. I think that he has come to understand Bobby and Everett a little bit more when it comes to trying to portray that character. I think that, I like the idea that Jada has the connection to Bobby and Stephanie has the connection to Everett, which has always been the case, but it hadn't really been played out like it did until they did it like that this week, where Stephanie's trying. She's like, well, then let me get the person that Bobby likes then. Hey, Jada, come and help out. I like those elements. I thought that the whole Bob Ritt thing was the best done this week than they have ever done up till now.
Yes. But when they first wrote the character, though, Everett was the altered, not the host. Now Bobby,
I don't know.
Bobby was supposed to be the original person because that's the fingerprints and and But now they've kind of backpedaled a little bit, and Bobby's not the original. Everett is.
I don't know.
Bobby is an alter.
Maybe they could go back and say that under Bobby, he changed all of his names legally from Everett. Everett Lynch to Bobby, whatever.
Bobby is a slick fool. So they could do that easily.
Yeah. And I guess both records would have to exist somewhere for Bobby and Everett to exist simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. And evidently back when he was married to Jada and was with Stephanie at the same time, they don't know about each other necessarily. Bobby would. Bobby would, not Everett, though.
Maybe not.
Well, Everett doesn't really know what Bobby's done, but Bobby knows what Everett's done.
Yes. Yeah. And
Bobby's a scoundrel, so he'd be okay with hitting it and hitting that.
well, yeah, but also at the same time, they have to have both, because as Everett, you can't pull out a credit card that says Bobby Stein.
No.
Somebody would have a question about that.
Right. So evidently before, though, he used to kind of go between the two and be Bobby for a few hours and be Everett for a few hours and do this and kind of swim together independently.
Right. I think, I don't know. They'll have to continue to tell the story and develop what happened between him and the relationships to explain why he was living the double life. Because as it stands right now, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the double life to exist, because Bobby's there to protect Everett and would then presumably only manifest when Everett is going through something, which conceivably isn't every day.
Or when Bobby feels like somebody's about to discover some kind of truth.
Yeah, he's trying to keep Everett from remembering that his dad killed his mom or something.
Something crazy, yes. He's trying to protect his mind.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. So we're gonna have to see how it all goes out, and then once the shoe drops, we'll spend 45 minutes on it, I'm sure. I'm
enjoying the Bobby Everett story more than I have in the past. This past week, like you said, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. I think that they hit their best beats this week. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can continue that moment. I'm not saying that they're incapable of. I'm just saying I don't know if the story has enough momentum in it to continue on being good, or if we just need to start getting into an area of wrapping it up before it starts to taste bad again. But that's writers speak for a room that we're not in. So I think that's class, Ma.
I think it is.
So let's get out of here. Class dismissed.
Okay.
Class dismissed. Get out of here. Get out of the lecture hall. Go back into your student union. Go to your dorms, your fraternities, your sororities, your apartments, or your houses.
Or go grab a Sammy.
Or go grab a bagel and then go on over to General Hospital as we ascend up to the 10th floor at 11 a.m. to talk about that show.
That's only 44 minutes away.
Yep. So, get on out of here, folks. Class dismissed. Another good week of Days of Our Lives. Like the video if you haven't. Comment on it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed yourselves, and share it with friends. We'll see you in about 45 minutes for 10th floor. We'll talk about General Hospital. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And for Angela, who's somewhere out there on campus, we'll see you next week and in 45 minutes. Bye.